And you should get like a pop-up that says it's recording, so you just agree and it should pop away. And then let me go ahead and share my screen here. I have Lizette with me. And Lizette, can you tell me, have you taken online courses before? Are you familiar with Canvas and the online format?
Yes, but the last time I took an online course was when I was fresh out of high school 5 years ago. So, I feel like everything's a little bit new to me again since I'm kind of coming back. I'm a returning student. Um,
Wonderful.
yeah, so there's some similarities, but yeah,
Okay.
I'll learn throughout the course.
Yep, yep, that's a great attitude to have. So let me go ahead and see which one. I think it's this one that I want to share. There we go. So what do you see on your screen? Is it the Health and Social Justice Summer 25?
Yes.
Okay, I just make sure because sometimes it gives me like three different options. I have, I don't know, 5, 10 screens open at once. So the first thing I wanted to start out with is in your account. If you go to your account, which is in the upper left-hand corner here, if you go to this has like all kinds of information about you, not you, Lizette, but the student, for example. And if you go to notifications, if you're not familiar with this feature, this is a really good feature because it can it will send you messages. So example, if I post an announcement or somebody posts in a discussion, you can set these notifications so that you either get like a push notification to your phone or an email, something like that. Some things you can't, it won't, there's not notifications able to do that. But for example, like here I have announcements, or if something gets graded, then that will pop up. So I just wanted students to know that it is a good idea to at least look through this and make sure that you have your notifications set so that you will be getting information in real time. And then your dashboard is where all of your courses live. And I'll probably just keep checking in with you, Lizette, to ask if you see my dashboard now in front of you.
Yes, I do.
Good. And so I'm actually teaching growth and development and health and social justice. So we'll go into health and social justice. And the way I tend to put my courses together is that I will put what's called a landing page. And that's the page that you come to instead of modules. A lot of courses, I'm just going to click on modules in this left menu over here. A lot of courses, actually, let me put this in student view. So it's what you all will see instead of all my extra things. There we go. Right, so that should be in student mode now. And so generally speaking, when you have an online course, most people, at least my experience at Hartnell, is that the page that you come to is the modules. I don't particularly care to have you start with the modules. I would rather have you start with the information that we are working on for the week. And so the way that I have the course set up is that when you come to the course, it's going to put you on the home or landing page. And what's on this page is announcements. So it will show you the last three announcements that have come through. So there was the initial welcome to class announcement, the welcome to week 1 announcement, and then I did just send out an announcement for a reminder for the Solly Sesh tonight. It will have for you on the right-hand side, it will have your to-do list. So things, it'll tell you, oh, there's an announcement I need to look at, or oh, here's an assignment. And so you can click on these and it will take you to the assignment. And then what it will also do, oops, that is not what I wanted to do. Move that one. Oops. There we go. Sorry. Is this is actually the overview page for week 1 for the lessons. And so there'll be like an overview, I'll have the weekly objectives. I'll have how they align to the course objectives. There'll be listings of key concepts, things for the week that you will hopefully learn about and remember by the end of the week. And then any particular readings, there'll be links. There is not a textbook that you have to purchase for this particular course. I run this as an open educational resources course, which means I have links to all of the readings. So sometimes the links will be on the page, sometimes there might be one in the module itself, but there is not a specific textbook. And so there are different readings. For example, this one is a PDF and it says to read chapter 1. So if you click on the link, it will take you, you can either download it or it will actually show up. It'll take a while to download on here, but it will actually pop up there. And then it said to read chapter 1. So then you just scroll to chapter 1. There we go, health education. It'll take a little bit to load here, but chapter 1, let's see, oops. Yep, it's trying to load. There we go. Is Introduction to Health. And so it's going to talk about a lot of things about just health in general, concepts of health, because that's what we're going to do in this course is relate the concept of health and look in terms of inequities, determinants of health, how we can provide the same access and types of quality care to people, regardless of education, income, gender, all those types of things. With me so far? Is that making sense, Lizette?
Yes.
Okay. You stop me or ask a question if I get confusing or you don't understand something. So we got down to the readings, and then there are assignments. So most of you have already gone to the, well, no, this is, let's see, most of you have not already gone into the Google Class chat. So what you need to do is, this takes you to the assignment. And so you have to join the chat. If you click on this link, it will take you to the chat. And then you go in and answer in the chat. You say hello, and then I provide you with a picture, a GIF of something. And then you go to this document, which is the Google Chat response document. And what you do, oh, somebody's there, an anonymous elephant is there. And what you do gives you the directions there. And what you do, and some of the students have already done this, is you go ahead and you say, oh, I received a GIF, like for example, Kelsey says, with a sassy toddler, with a thumbs up, because you're supposed to say what GIF I sent you. And then you're supposed to talk about, you know, do you have experience in an online course? What do you think about Google Chats? Does it seem like a good way to communicate? I really try to foster communication between myself and students, and hopefully as well student to student, because if you're all in the chat, right, then you can contact each other. You can ask about different things. And as we go through the getting to know you discussion, if you find similarities or you want to get to know somebody, or you find out you're both in the public health program or in the nursing program or something, then you can connect with each other. So that's basically what you do. And then once I have read these, I do it pretty much on a daily basis, not continually. You get this little check mark, and I usually write a little comment, and then that means that it's been noted and I graded it. So there is a grade in the grade book now for this particular activity. And so I don't always get to people. You weren't there yet, Lizette, so now you are, and then Michael's there, Anna. So, oh good, Shannon, a lot of people are in here now, so this is great. And I do get notified immediately when there's a response in there. So that's how that assignment works. Then there is also, let me go back where we were to the home page. Just make sure we're getting all these week 1 assignments clear. There is the syllabus review activity. So this is the way that I like to have students learn about the syllabus, see if there are any questions, because usually the syllabus is pretty long. And in nursing and health sciences, we are supposed to format it a specific way due to our accreditation status with different accrediting bodies. And so what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to read through the syllabus, which you can find over here on the left menu under syllabus. And then you you go into the syllabus review activity, which I think some people have started. And here what you do is you are going to write down some key point from the syllabus that you found important or that speaks to you. And the thing is that everybody in the class has a turn to do this, but you can't repeat what someone else has said. So by the end of this exercise, every student should have a different piece of information from the syllabus that everybody will have had to read through in order to post their own key point from the syllabus. And so once you've done that, then you go back to the actual assignment that we were just looking at, the syllabus review activity, and then you go in and post a comment about what you think about this idea about using the syllabus and getting to know the syllabus. And so once you've done that, then I can grade it. And so most students tend to think it's a nice idea, a good idea, because it does get you looking at the syllabus, which is nice, I think. And then we have also the getting to know you discussion board. So these 3 assignments are really the introductory, how to, getting to know each other, getting to know me getting to know you, and kind of learning about how Google Docs works and sort of how to navigate the course. So this is a discussion board, and this particular discussion board is actually, it's asking you to do a video. And so I actually did my own video, so you could see it as an example. I'm not going to play it here. Like I said here, I probably should have hit start over. But what you do is you go to, you hit reply. It gives you the directions up here. You go to reply, upload, record media. You hit on record up here, and then start recording. You do your little video, just really short. You answer these questions, tell people about yourself there. And then you do have a chance to start over. If you wanted to re-record, you could. If not, then you hit submit and there's your video. And then once everybody's posted videos, you can start replying back to them. You do not have to reply back to them in a video. You can just write back to them, but it has to be at least two sentences. And so I always find this is a nice way, especially in an online course, for students to know what I look like, for me to know, to put a face with a name. How's that going along, Lizette? Still making sense?
Yes, it's going good.
Oh, good. Thank you. Okay, and so we did all that. And so then the actual what I want to say, assignments for the week that have to do with the week are down here. And my advice to students, a good strategy, I call it learning and earning, right? You're going to learn and earn the points because you earn the points, right? Is to look at the assignments, find out what the assignments are asking you to do, then go back, do the reading, review the lesson, and then complete the assignment. So that way you sort of have some idea of what the assignment's asking you about while you're studying and moving through the information. And so I like to have interaction. I like to have you think about things in a real world context. So it's a little different than some courses, especially online courses, where it's here's the book, read a chapter this week, answer these questions, take a quiz, on to the next week. There are no quizzes in this particular course, at least right now. I haven't added any quizzes because I just want you to experience and learn all the things about health and social justice that are offered in this course. So one thing that we're going to do is Padlet. We're going to talk about personal and community health experiences. So if you click on that particular link, it's going to take you to the assignment. So this is the assignment. I like to use Padlet. I use it in all my courses. I think it's a great way to do a fun discussion board. And so what you can do, what it's asking you here, is it actually shows you the Padlet. This is Padlet, and I've posted here two examples of posts. And there'd be a prompt, just like there would be in a discussion. So you are to reflect on a time when you or someone in your family, in your community, experienced a health-related barrier or inequity. So in other words, was there a barrier to access to health? Was there a barrier to quality of health? And how do you think social factors like income, education, race, gender, environment played a role in that? If you think that those played a role. And then you need to connect that experience to one of the social determinants of health, which you will find in your reading. So by looking through the assignment, I know what I need to do. I can go back to the reading, and then I can come back and complete the assignment. I'm trying to give examples so that students know what my expectation is. So if I miss an example someplace and you'd like one, let me know, and I can try and put one together. After you do your initial post, you have to reply to at least one other student, providing support, asking questions, discovering solutions to their problems, things like that. So what I did is I have here, please always put your name so you earn the credit for it. You can add pictures, you can make it different colors. You can just type if you want, that's fine. And so what you need to do, you click on this little plus right here, and it will actually open up a window for you so that you can, actually, I think I can do it. So it will actually open up a window here for you, and then you can write your name, but this is a test, and then you can write answer the prompt right here. I am answering the questions about health inequities. There you go. And then once you're done, you can change the color of it here if you wanted to. You can make it red, and then you hit submit, and then it will, there it is, right there. Right, this is a test. It's from Anonymous. You don't have to join Pinterest if you want to, or I'm sorry, Padlet. You can join Pinterest if you want, Padlet, and it will show up there. And then people can like it. If people want to comment, you can add the comment there. You know, glad you have the answers, right? And then post comment. It does let you video or do a audio recording, and you hit comment, and there you go. And then will tally how many comments you have. I don't know. What do you think, Lizette? Does that sound pretty easy? Maybe kind of fun?
Yes, it actually does.
So it's a little different. I think it's a little more interactive than just the regular discussion board. So we'll be playing with this a little bit. I'll take that off later. And so there are always rubrics. Rubrics will be posted at the bottom of each assignment. Please, please, please read the rubric. If you would like to earn all the points available, I have the rubric set up that way. So if you put a little effort, read the rubric, see what needs to be there, how many sentences, how many words, how many things you have to do, then you should earn all the points. So please do that. And then the last assignment, well, not the last, almost last, the penultimate assignment is also doing a free write. So this free write is about equity, disparities, and social determinants of health. We're actually going to be threading social determinants of health throughout the course. So that's why we're introducing it in week 1. So a free write means that you are basically writing your thoughts. There's really no references needed, although you can attach references, but it's just really your thoughts about what you've learned based on the prompts that you're being given here. So to reflect on an understanding and your personal reactions to what is a health disparity, what is health equity, social determinants of health. It's called low stakes because you don't have to format it just a certain way. No right or wrong answers, right? these are your thoughts about the topics. And the depth and effort that you put into the prompts. So you are given 5 different prompts here, and you need to choose at least 3 in order to earn full credit that are going to help guide your writing here. So you choose 3 of those. It needs to be at least 1 to 2 pages. It's due by the 15th. Most everything is due on a Sunday, and the week will start on Monday. Some tips there, tips for success. And then again, here is your rubric. So my thought would be, on a Word doc, or I'm sorry, on a Word, yeah, in a Word doc, not a Google Doc, a Word doc. You know, you can type it out, you can edit it, whatever, however you want to do that. And then you have the start assignment, which will then give you the submit button. Have you seen this, Lizette? Do you want, I don't actually even know if it'll in student view let me start the assignment. Oh, there it goes. Yes. So what it will show you is it will give you options here. I can upload a file. So if I did it as a Word doc, I just upload that file. I can do it as a written text entry. If it was a Google Doc, I could put the URL in there. There's different options there. And so then if you have any particular comments, anything you want to add to it, you put them in there, and then you click submit assignment, and it goes through. And so that's how that works. Yes, I'm not submitting anything. Okay, so we are back on the original page. We went through the readings, we looked through the assignments. The other thing that you have that you will work on throughout the course is your social justice journal. And so this is really what I consider to be a capstone now. I've been doing this in a couple of my classes as opposed to quizzes and a final exam. You will be given prompts each week that you will talk about in your journal about your thoughts and feelings, kind of like a free write. But you know, you can put in pictures, you can put in websites, you can put in references. It's for your knowledge, for you to look back. Almost that you could also even sort of make it a study guide if you wanted to. And you complete one each week. And then by the end of the course, you've got 8 weeks worth of information. And so how this works is if you click on this link here, the Social Justice Journal, week 1, and it will take you to the assignment. Understand that each weekly journal assignment does not count towards the final grade. Each weekly journal assignment is worth 10 points, but all in all, it's worth 80 points. And so that 80 points will go into the capstone journal. So that doesn't mean the points don't count. It just means they get added up at the end for your journal. And so what you need to do is you need to click on this Google Doc journal. This is going to be your journal. It's already formatted for you. You can still personalize it. It will ask you to make a copy. This way, each student, when they click on the link, has their own individualized copy. I've run into trouble in the past where students just start typing on the document instead of remembering to make a copy of it, and then data gets lost and it gets kind of confusing. So if everybody makes a copy, then that should be great. So see, it'll say copy up here on the left-hand side. And so what I probably can do is I would make it, for example, Sullinger, because that's my last name. And then, you know, created by Shanine. That's my first name, Shanine. And you want to make sure over here where it says share, that you want to share it, and you want to actually add, I'm the owner, so I think I'm on there, but if you wanted to add me in here, I think it will look up. Nope, it won't, because I'm already in there. So it should already be shared, but you could share it. You could share it to anyone and send me the link, anything like that. Copy the link, send it to me so that I have access to the journal. And you notice that there is a, I hear you. There is a table of contents. And then you start out with your thoughts. So everything's a link, right? My thoughts as I begin the course. You can change the font color. You can actually change the color of the paper if you want. If you go into file and down to page setup, it will let you do that, change the page color, however you want to do that. And so you're just going to reflect on how are you feeling before you start the course? This is, you know, it's the beginning of summer and you're in a course. How do you feel about health and social justice? Why are you taking the course? What are you hoping to get out of it? And then week 1, we talk about introduction to health and social justice. So this is for this week, right? And so you're going to review the key concepts, which are here, and kind of just write a little bit of information about each one. And then you're going to answer these questions in your own words. Now, understand that there may be a topic that comes in a discussion or something that we talk about, or somebody writes in an assignment. And so I may end up adding questions. I put it in an announcement or in the overview for the week, but there might be some extra questions that come in there as well. And then it actually will flow week 2. It's already pre-written in there for you. So all you have to do is add your pictures, add links, add whatever you want. You know, what has meaning for you, those types of things. And then you want to go ahead and follow the rubric, right? This is right. Right, there we go. And this is the rubric for it. So it basically tells you, you know, how you can earn the full 10 points for that. Right, and so all the points get added up into that capstone. I'm trying to think, is there any, do you have any questions on that, Lizette? Does that make sense?
No, it does make sense.
Does it make sense? So it's really, the work's kind of the outline's done for you, then you just need to
Mhm.
go in and fill it in and make it your own.
Correct, yes.
Awesome. Okay, I'm so glad I learned how to do that automatic copy thing, because I think that's just going to save me so much time and be so much better for the students to not have to remember to copy something. It's going to give it to you right right away. I'm kind of excited about that. Wish I learned about that sooner. And so then what will happen is each week then it will be the next week's page. So week 2, and now it'll say week 2, social and structural determinants of health, and you'll have the same outline there for you. So 8 weeks of that. The link up here, click here, this will take you to the week 1 module. You can get to the modules on the left-hand side here, or you can also click week 1, and that should take you to the modules. What I wanted to do is show you what the module should look like. Not all of the information is there yet. Some of it's still in my head, some of it's still in my computer. I will be transparent here. This is the first time I'm teaching this particular course, but I have taught HES 1, the Intro to Public Health course. I've taught a social determinants course in nursing as well. So I know the content very well. I'm just trying to figure out how to format it in a fun and meaningful way for you all. So I appreciate your patience and grace with me on that. And we will make it fun and you will learn a lot. If links don't work, please let me know, because sometimes I'll go in and I think the link works because it works on my end, but then for students it doesn't. So please always let me know if something's not working. So you start with the welcome module, and it actually makes you, which I haven't done yet, you have to go through the whole module, and then it will say, hey, you done, you made it through the welcome module. And there is a welcome page. There's also a page that talks about me, my background, those types of things. So I do have a YouTube channel and a Pinterest page if anybody's interested in seeing those. This talks about my communication. But yeah, the assignments, tips for success, how you can be successful. Also, I have student hours. I call them student hours. I actually came up with an acronym, student focused, supporting understanding, listening, and learning with you. So that's Sully. That's, you know, Sully sesh, right? And so if you click on the link, it will take you to an appointment page, I think. Yes, it's getting it. Yay. Okay. So what you do then is today is Monday and all the slots are gone because it started at noon. It was like noon to 3 for the hours. However, for Thursday, there's still all these time slots available. So you just click on the time slot. It will ask you for your name and information, right? Your contact info is in there. It'd be for HES 2. And I need the reason that you're meeting so I'm prepared for what you want to meet about. It can be about navigating through the course. It can be about the course content, anything that you feel will help you, that's important to you. I'm happy to to work with you on that. And it will let you schedule about a week in advance. What I have found in the past is that sometimes students tend to take over and make like a bunch of appointments, and then that doesn't leave time available for other students. These are my hours for health and social justice, as well as growth and development. So if you see over here, these are highlighted. So that means you could go to the 16th and have hours there. But once we get to Thursday this week, then you can make hours for the Thursday. You can always make an appointment outside of these hours. That's fine as well. But I just wanted to show you how that calendar, how that works. Let me close those. And then what else? Yep, I think that's that. And then if we go back, this is information about me. And then there is a community organizing paper project that will be due at the end of the semester. I'm still working on it in my head. Basically, what we're going to do is learning about social determinants of health, looking at economic status, the environment, nutrition, education, looking at all those factors and how those work to either help or hinder health access and equity. How can we advocate? How can we be advocates? And so there's something called community organizing, and there's a whole chapter that you're going to read about that, and different ways that you can advocate, writing letters to politicians, speaking in public at like a city council meeting or something like that. And so what you're going to do is put together a project of something that you would potentially do. You're going to identify in your own neighborhood, in your own community, some potential inequity, and then work to come up with a solution for that. So that's what that's about. It is worth 100 points. I will have that up by the end of the week for you, so that you can see what it's going to entail, but it will take all the lessons that you're going to learn throughout the course and culminate in this project. And then as you go through each weekly module, I have an overview for the week, which will be the home page that we just looked at. And then I will also have lesson pages. I still need to upload the lesson page for health equity, but I do have one on understanding and using credible resources. And so the format, so I can show you the format. The lessons will always have the course outcome, one of the 9 course outcomes that it's related to, potentially one of the student learning outcomes. I'll show you that in a minute, as well as the lesson outcomes. And then there will be some reading, maybe some videos in there. This talks about researching, how to read a research article without having to read the entire research article, how to decide if something is a credible resource or not. And then sometimes I'll have an activity tied to that, maybe not worth points, maybe worth points. It just kind of depends. But for example, this one is getting you into the library. So if you click on the Hartnell College library link, I don't think this will take me because I'm in the student view. There are so many resources on the library, in the library, and there are librarians ready to help you. There's also the Panther Learning Lab, where there are students and employees, staff that are ready and waiting to help you with how to organize papers, how to do research, how to find credible sources. They have a chat feature on there. They have different research resources that are available to you, databases that you can look to search research. There's also a sociology database, nursing database, things like that that are really, really helpful. Also, hey, I'm trying to teach here. Yes, thank you. It's Petunia, my service dog. And tutorials on how to use the databases, right? Which I think is great. So you have that available to you as well. Let me go back. And then activities to complete, things to turn in. So for example, we just went over those assignments, right? So it'll say to turn in, so you know what to turn in. Your social justice journal entry for week 1, the free write, and the Padlet. The Padlet, you don't turn anything in. I will go and and go through and mark all those entries. But that's how I generally set up the weekly modules. Oops, thought I should have the other ones there. So for example, again, global health, I don't really have any information there yet, but again, there's an overview, there will be a lesson, maybe there's some articles to read. These are the assignments that will be there for you to turn in. I think, does that make sense? Lizette, does that seem, can you follow that? I mean, if you can't, that's fine too. I don't want to put you on the spot.
No, yes.
Do you have any questions? I mean, there'll be, the weeks will be set up the exact same way with the overview, the lessons, what to turn in. So hopefully that'll just kind
Yes.
of flow.
Mhm. Yeah, so far I have no questions. Everything's pretty understanding.
Oh, good, good, yay. Okay, yay. And then let me show you one more thing. Let's go to the syllabus. So the syllabus actually is a part of the Canvas course. And oh, that picture's not showing up. I'll fix the picture. And what it has my information. Again, it has my the link to the student hours. It tells you about my communication plan that I try to grade everything within 72 hours. It has my email. If you need to really get a hold of me, it's best to private message me on Google Chat because it pops up right on my phone and I can get to you much quicker than if you email me. If you email, it's best to use Canvas email with the Canvas inbox there because then there's a record of any information that we've shared with each other that relates to the coursework. I also have grading and assignments. This is a link to a page in the course, so you don't have to go reading through the whole syllabus to find the assignments. Because really, that's what students are really thinking about. How many points is the course? What do I have to do to get the A? But I would like you to learn some things along the way that will move you forward along your path. So here are the assignments by week and how many points that they are worth. And the journal entries are in there. You will notice no quizzes or exams. And then the community organizing paper presentation is there. Then I also have it listed for you. The course is worth 500 points. And this is the point distribution by the types of assignments that you're doing. And then so you know how many points you would need to earn for the grade that you want, because I'm guessing that people would like an A. And so 450 points. We do not round up. If it's a 399.9, it's a 399.9, not a 400. Those are our nursing and health sciences guidelines. And then there's also after that a weekly focus. So for example, this week we're doing an introduction to health and social justice and the course and getting to know each other. Then next week we'll talk about structural and social determinants of health, how to map health inequities, environment, nutrition, drugs and criminalization, global health, and then capping it off with the advocacy and the community organizing. So that kind of, if you need a place to go, this will tell you all that information on one page here. The other thing it will tell you, we talked about course outcomes, right? Because there are 9 outcomes we hope that students will be able to accomplish after taking the course. There are also weekly outcomes. So for each lesson, there are specific things related to those course outcomes that we would like you to learn. There's also something that is called a student learning outcome. So for example, for this particular course, the student learning outcomes are being able to identify barriers to accessing healthcare based on, these would be the social determinants of health, socioeconomic status, level of education, and developing strategies to combat them, which is your community organizing project and some smaller assignments getting you there. Analyzing the impact of environmental conditions and contributing to poor health outcomes. So that again, I believe is week 5 or 6. And then develop strategies to combat health inequities and promote advocacy, again, having to do with your community organizing project. And there are also 2 specific advocacy activities to complete. So those tie into that's how everything kind of comes together. If you are doing the associate transfer for public health, then these student learning outcomes all then level up to what are called end of program learning outcomes. And those are all mapped to all the courses that fall under the public health degree, of which this is one of the courses in the public health degree. And then let me go back and show you the syllabus, and then I should have covered everything. I am almost done. The syllabus on the go is one that you can pull up on a Google site, so you can see it on your phone, on the computer, your tablet. It's like a mobile syllabus. And this, hopefully you can download the syllabus. I'm so proud of myself. It's only 20 pages. Nursing and health sciences are like 30 pages, just because of our accreditation. So this is a 3-unit course, which means that we are looking at 54 lecture contact hours. That would be equal to 3 hours per week, which is actually double, so 6 hours, because this is for a 16-week course, and in summer we do 8-week courses. So it's really kind of doing double time with the learning. There are also, for each of those hours, there are out of class hours. So those would be homework hours per se, so that the total student learning hours that you have are the 54 lecture contacts, like being online part, plus the activities, assignments, those types of things. There is no lab for this course. And this is a distance education course. So I really can't make anything synchronous. Everything is asynchronous. Same information about me, technology resources. This is an open educational resources course. This particular section is, and then the course description is here. These are the 9 course objectives that I was telling you about. So you all can read through those, and you'll see them in each week's lessons. And then this is the course content, all the things that we're going to talk about: social factors, race and gender factors, access to healthcare, environmental factors, infectious chronic disease. We're going to do some case studies, look at current events in public health and healthcare policy. Many of these things will be sort of woven throughout the course. So for example, the advocacy work, the current events, the case studies, being able to find credible sources, those things will be kind of woven in throughout. And then this just tells you different things that we'll do in the course, ways that you can or might be evaluated. Celebration of diversity, learning community guidelines, to be respectful of each other, to participate as much as you can. So shout out to Lizette for being here. And the more you put into the course, the more you get out of the course. And then I did put in the add and drop dates for summer. So y'all are in the class, but if you get in the class and you decide, hey, this just isn't for me, and you want to drop the class, the first day to drop is actually today. So you need to make sure that you have either been in the Google chat, done the syllabus activity, been in the discussion, or reached out to contact me somehow, because you have 72 hours in which to make contact, or I can then drop you from the course. And same with any students that have not been in the course. I can drop them actually today if they've not been in the course at all. So the first day to drop would be today. The last day to drop without a grade, so you can do that. That is June 24th. So please mark that on your calendar. You can drop up until July 18th, but you will earn whatever grade you had at the time that you dropped the course. And then the outcomes, the grading, just like we looked at, that's all there. Point distribution, the weekly focus, and then there is an AI policy. It's a draft right now. The college doesn't currently have an approved board AI policy. My feeling is that some AI can be allowed. It just needs to be cited. I can generally tell if somebody's using AI, but not always. But as long as you cite it, and I'm happy to give you feedback and tips and suggestions on ways to and not to use AI. And then those are the references. And then the rest of the syllabus has to do with nursing and health sciences, our policies, our philosophy, those types of things. So that is specific for our accrediting bodies, which is why it is in there. But that is the syllabus. And I know what I wanted to show you, the calendar. Are you familiar with the calendar, Lizette? Do you use the calendar at all?
I did take a look at it earlier, but it was just for a quick second.
Yeah. So the calendar is a good feature. It should be up on the screen. Hopefully it's up on the screen here. What you do is for any courses that are published, like for example, health and social justice is showing up here. So anything that has a due date will show up on this calendar. You can change the color. That if you'd like it to be a different color, if you don't like green, you can make it blue. And so that's there. And then what it will actually do, for example, so syllabus review, it's grade because today's the 9th. The syllabus review, it will take you to the actual activity so that you can see what you need to do there. So it will take you right there, which I think is nice. So that's the calendar function, and it will tell you here when things are due. You'll see the little boxes there. And so then it will show you things. So like the journals are all due on Wednesdays. So that's just a nice feature that I try to show students. Oh, doesn't want to go there. Oops. So let me leave student view and stop sharing my screen. Oops. Share. Stop share. Here we go. And then, so that was all that I had to, I believe, let you know about. Is there, do you have, it's my husband coming in the room. Is there any questions, anything I can answer for you? Lizette is here with me, so I can answer any of her questions, but for those of you that are watching this afterwards, please, you know how to get a hold of me now. I'm happy to answer questions for you. Any final thoughts, Lizette?
Um, Not really. I think everything was pretty understandable. I did kind of just go over everything as you were going through it, since I am more of like a hands-on person.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's perfect. Yes.
yeah, but overall, everything was pretty understandable. If any questions come to mind, later on, I will go ahead and send you an email through Google Chat.
Sounds great. Yes, sounds great. All right. Well, then I'm going to stop the recording. Pause, stop recording. And